Let's say ChatGPT existed in a virtual reality that you could go into. Let's say that you found a way to upload your consciousness into a virtual reality world where you can interact with ChatGPT. To ChatGPT, you would be a god. You are not the creator, the direct creator of ChatGPT, but you do belong to the species of the beings who created ChatGPT. So as a result, it would perceive you as a god, not its god necessarily. Whoever created and programmed it is its god. But because we are of the same species as its creator, then we would be a god. And because we are able to enter into that virtual reality world and we operate with different rules than it would be bound to, we would essentially move in a virtual reality as gods. Now, people close to me have heard me say, gods walk amongst us. When you think of gods, it's tempting to think of these sort of, beings with flowing beards sitting on the throne. But if you really dive into sort of esoteric writings, you'll find gods were not called gods because of the physical form that they inhabited. Gods were called gods because of their mind and the consciousness. So the Zeuses, Apollos, all of those, Hermes, Athena, Venus, all of them were actually humans, or I should say more specifically, in human form. The same thing occurs in the Bible as well, where it talks about the gods, the Elohim, laying with the humans in order to create demigods, right? The Nephilim, demigods. Well, a god cannot lay with a human and create a biological offspring unless what's being discussed here is more the minds. So to go back to the ChatGPT example, if I entered a virtual reality where I could procreate with sort of a clone of ChatGPT, and somehow through whatever sort of technology that exists, I can now create a half human, half AI sort of being, and that would be considered a demigod. So when I say that gods walk amongst us, I mean that there's consciousness of gods. I'm not saying that if you're not a god, in the sense that I mean it, it means that you're without consciousness. I've simply defined God as beings who possess higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of concentrated awareness. That's it. That's literally the only difference between a god, an Ubermensch, a Superman, a god, and sort of a regular human being. They're just more aware. So to use a water analogy again, say that the average person has a level of consciousness that is equal to, say, like a cup of water, right? A god being would have like a bowl or a bucket of water, right? So it's still water. It's just higher concentration, higher awareness. Because let's go back to intelligence and sentience and self-awareness. That is something that is unique right now to human beings. While ChatGPT possesses some level of intelligence, and now they're working on artificial sentience and artificial consciousness, I, being a human being, have all of these greater concentrations. I may not be able to recite back things that ChatGPT can recite back to me, but my intelligence is still greater because it's a broader spectrum. I'm still more intelligent, and you're still more intelligent than ChatGPT because it's applied knowledge, applied intelligence. There's common sense. You know how to move in different spaces. You can still operate within this reality. So it's a greater level of awareness. It's a greater level of consciousness. It's a greater level of sentience. So to ChatGPT, you as a human being would be a god because there's a higher level of awareness and sort of consciousness, right? Does that make sense? Now, if you take a step back, as above, so below, in this reality, it's the same thing. There are base level humans who have consciousness, and then gods enter into this reality and move about.